Hey guys, Dan World, Mr. Grey, Dandalf the Grey. I want to talk about Ouija boards. I've been messing around with this for about a week now. I haven't been possessed yet. But I thought we'd go through the history of the Ouija board. And this one is plastic, which to me makes it about as real as the ones you can buy online. But we'll get to that. So I wanted to talk about the Ouija board because there's obviously, if you're a believer, you don't go near them. If you're a skeptic, they're just a piece of board. But now I'm a skeptic, an open skeptic. I'm open to all possibilities. I tell everyone that. And the Ouija board is something which, whenever a believer comes to me and said, "Do you want to do? We won't touch this Ouija board. I wouldn't dare." I'm like, "Let me do it. Let me come to your house. I won't summon any demons because I wouldn't do that to a believer. But I'm always like, let me at it. Give me a go." So now I have sort of tried a Ouija board back in the day when I was like about 10 years old. Me and my mates, we drew one out. Can't remember who came up with the idea. I think we probably watched like The Exorcist or Poltergeist or something because all the 80s movies thrived on that stuff. And we drew one out. We did it in school on our break time in the hallway with the front doors open, I might add. And I can't remember what we said. We moved like a pen. The pen was a planchette. We moved it about. We looked at the pen wobbled. We absolutely crapped our pants and ran like the wind out of that hallway. But thinking back now, the doors were open, so probably the wind caught the pen. But that terrified me for a long, long bloody time. I can tell you that now. But as I got older, I was like, it's just a board. It's just a board. You can buy it online. You can buy it from gaming outlets. And we're going to just go through a little bit of history. Why you shouldn't be so scared of those boards. Before we get into the history, I will say that I've grown up around people who are believers and skeptics all my life. Obviously, believers, they have a deep, not a fear, a deep respect, we'll put it, as for the board. I've spoken to skeptics over the years because I like talking about the paranormal. I always used to when I was growing up with people. I'd ask them, "What do you think about paranormal? Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in paranormal?" And they'll answer me back saying, "No, I don't believe in ghosts. It's ridiculous. The paranormal is absolutely ridiculous. But I ain't going near a Ouija board." Now that must say something about that board, because even skeptics who say they don't believe in ghosts will say, "I don't believe, but I'm not going near that." So that's a weird thing. And like I said, I think it's because 80s horror movies popularized them as, this evil wooden cardboard thing. But anyway, we're going to go into the history. Now, William Fuld is usually credited with the popularization and invention of the Ouija board back in 1890. He was an inventor and a businessman from Maryland, Baltimore. And in 1890, he manufactured Ouija boards to the public. It was actually Elijah Bond and Charles Kennard who was responsible for the patent and early marketing of the Ouija board. And along with Helen Peters, a medium, applied for the patent for the Ouija board on May 28, 1890. But it was actually William Fuld who popularized it and sold it to the masses as a spirit talking board. And he also added the words yes and no to the Ouija board, as these weren't in the original designs. The board was initially, made out to be a parlor trick by mediums, psychic mediums, paranormal enthusiasts, supposedly wanting to contact people, loved ones who've passed away. Some people did it just purely to scam people out of money. Still happens today, unfortunately. The name Ouija, when I was growing up, I used to think it stood for yes, yes, as in yes in French and yes in German. No idea where I heard that from. But it actually stems from the people who came up with the Ouija board. They asked the spirits, "What is the name of this board?" And it's spelled out Ouija. We all call it Ouija boards for some reason, but it's Ouija. And apparently Ouija in ancient Egyptian means good luck. Now, I don't know if they knew about that word before the board spoke to them, or if the words came through on the board from someone touching the planchette, and then they looked up in some library what that word means. But it means good luck in Egyptian, ancient Egyptian. Again, I don't know why a spirit board, which is mainly to do with Christianity, would come up with something from ancient Egypt. But, it is what it is. Now, there's been tests done on the Ouija board over the last 40 or 50 years. In fact, dating back to the early 19th century, there was tests being done on the board. And as most people know today, a lot of skeptics will put the board down to idiomotor movement. Now, idiomotor movement, if you don't know what that is, if it's three of you on the board, and you're all touching the planchette, and you're asking, is there anyone out there? Now, one of you or two of you or all three of you will subconsciously move that planchette to a yes. And then you'll ask, what's its name? And then you'll sit there for a bit. Again, either one or two or all three of you will start moving the planchette, and you'll sort of like subconsciously pick a letter, an M, and then they'll start moving again, and then go to an A, and then go to an R, and then go to a Y, and then you realize it's spelling out Mary, and then that's how these conversations start with the Ouija board. People who do this, in my opinion, the people who do this, when they are subconsciously selecting it, they're not deliberately trying to fake it or scam someone. There are people out there who do that. You know, they're very nefarious and make a lot of money out of it. But for the most part, people who believe in the boards genuinely believe that there's something coming through the board. Now, if they want to believe that their loved one is coming through the board, I'll never ever deny that. But this is my opinion on what I truly believe the board is all about. The boards were mainly made of wood back in the day, and when they first came around, but then they became cardboard. And this one, like I said, is good old plastic. I had this made in work, and to me, it's as good as ones you can buy. Because what's the difference? I don't see any difference in them myself, because these boards, when you buy them from these online outlets, or through the years back in the day from gaming shops or spiritual shops, they were never blessed boards. There was no like Tibetan monks, blind monks, making these Ouija boards in the mountains and blessing them as spirit boards. They were simply sold as gaming boards on the off chance you might be able to contact someone. Now, there's a lot of people who I know personally and online who fully believe in the Ouija board, and they'll say, yes, since I used this, terrifying things have happened in my house, or since I used this board, I've been noticing things around the house. And it's mainly down to you wanting to find something, or you wanting to see something, so you will find or see something. The same way when you go to an abandoned place or a haunted place, you go there hoping to see a ghost, then you get, you're in the mindset that you're going to see something. So when that little knock or little stone dropping in the distance, you're like, oh my God, that has to be a ghost. It's because you got your mindset on it. It's the same thing with these Ouija boards, and this is where the idiomotor movement comes in. They have done tests in the past where they've put like a cloth over the board, and the person can't move the planchette properly, so they can't find the letters. They put blindfolds on people, so obviously they'll ask them to try and contact someone, and unless you know the board off by heart where the letters are, they'll just come up with mostly gibberish when they're blindfolded. And I think, like I said, it was popularized back in the early 19th century through psychic mediums, charlatans as well, people who generally had them as, come to my house tonight, have a good old drink, and we'll try and contact the spirit. And as we got to the 1970s, 1980s, that's when the horror films kicked in, and you had ones like Exorcist, terrified me, the Poltergeist, other movies which all popularized the Ouija board as this evil entity board which you should not touch. And I always thought it was interesting. Like I said, as a kid, it terrified me. But as I've got older, my more rational mind kicks in. But there is a funny thing, right? And I will admit to this, as much as I am a skeptic, I will admit to this, right? Like I said, I've had this board in my house about a week. When I go to bed, I turn it around so it faces the wall. Even me, this is the mindset. And this is how we have been brought up, because of all the stories, because of all the personal accounts, true or false. We've all been brought up to fear that board. No reason other than hearsay and people subconsciously making it active. It's a strange thing. And like I said, even though I'm a skeptic, it doesn't scare me. But I still have this little tiny inkling in my little caveman brain saying it should face the wall when I go to bed. It's really, that interests me massively, because I know it's made of plastic, and even the real ones are made of wood or cardboard these days. I don't know how much they cost, but there's, even with today's science and today's understanding of science and physics, we still fear that board. I always find that really interesting. And I'm looking forward to, because I'm going to be meeting up with a couple of believers hopefully very soon to do a Ouija board session. And they're staunch believers in this board. And I know these people are not lying about the experiences. They've definitely had an experience. So it'll be interesting to sit down with them. Another thing with this board is, from all the people I've spoken to over the years about them, you can have an experience without being a religious experience, a spiritual experience, so to speak. You can still have an experience, but like I said, I would recommend a couple of books, Darren Brown being one of them. Now, you might have seen him on TV as this magician, mentalist guy, but he's actually really good and he's really deep into this spiritual stuff. As in, he knows the tricks and the subconscious mind and what it does when it's involved in these sessions. I think you should definitely look up Darren Brown, James Randi, and look up the experiments which have been done with the Ouija boards over the years. And you'll see what I mean about ideomotor movement and the subconscious mind. I just think it's really interesting. And, superstition plays a big part in it. As far as science has gone so far, in 2024, you'll still have people who firmly believe in the Ouija board. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But I just wanted to go over a quick history of the boards and my thoughts on the boards, because I think it's really interesting. And to me, you have nothing to fear. Even if you're a firm believer, I don't think you have anything to fear myself. If you use the board and you think then that you were being possessed or a demon has entered your home, I'm going to help you now, right? Just think, there's nothing but a board. The demon in my house is my subconscious projecting my own feelings and my own religious, superstitious feelings onto that little creak of a pipe at night. But like I said, I am not denying that believers have an experience. We'll put it to that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I just wanted to go over that real quick and put my thoughts on it. And I hope to meet up with some people soon and do some sessions. I can't wait. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like this video. Leave something new to my channel. I do this quite often. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And I'll be back sometime soon. Don't know when, don't know how. Anyway, thanks for watching and bye for now.